Let's go Falcons! We have some news circulating about our team that has generated buzz around the web. Let's analyze it all in detail. But first, comment here which player do you want to see on the Falcons next season? Which star should the Falcons include in their plans to secure next season? And be sure to click the like button and follow me as I'll keep you well updated. Now, let's analyze the latest news on Kyle Pitts and what GM Terry Fontenot had to say about his future in Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, once seen as a game-changing draft pick, is now entering a critical point in his career with the Falcons. It's been a roller coaster ride since his explosive rookie season when he surpassed 1,000 receiving yards. Since then, production has declined, and the questions are getting louder. This season, Pitts has caught 47 passes for 602 yards and 4 touchdowns. Solid numbers, sure, but not what you'd expect from a top-5 draft pick. And Fontenot isn't sugarcoating it anymore. In his end-of-season press conference, Fontenot made it clear. Pitts hasn't lived up to his rookie numbers or expectations. He stressed that there's no excuse for the decline, stating, when you draft a player that high, you expect a certain level of production. Kyle had a great rookie year, but he hasn't matched or exceeded those numbers since. It's not all negative. Pitts has had some bright spots this year, particularly a standout performance in October where he recorded 21 catches for 314 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a crucial score against Tampa Bay. But here's the problem, that production has all but disappeared in the second half of the season. Over the past 13 games, Pitts has caught just 26 passes for 288 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's not the consistent impact player Atlanta needs. Coach Raheem Morris, however, still believes in Pitts' explosive potential. He even compared him to former Pro Bowl wide receiver Deshaun Jackson, saying Pitts has the ability to make game-changing plays with limited touches. But being a big play guy doesn't excuse a lack of consistent production, especially when you consider Pitts only had 2 games this season with more than 5 receptions. The Falcons' offense certainly isn't short on weapons. Drake London finished with 1,271 receiving yards, and Darnell Mooney fell just short of 1,000. Even Ray McCloud and rookie Bijan Robinson made strong contributions in the passing game. But when you draft a tight end 4th overall, the expectation is to see him as a primary offensive threat, not just a situational playmaker. Here's the reality check. Pitts ranked 16th among tight ends in targets, 22nd in receptions, and 13th in yards. His advanced metrics paint a similar picture. ESPN Analytics ranked his open rate 148th out of 154 qualified receivers. So while he has flashes of brilliance, the consistency just isn't there. Fontenot and the Falcons picked up Pitts' 5th-year option, guaranteeing him $10.9 million in 2025. But the message is clear, this is a make-or-break season. Fontenot stressed that Pitts needs to focus on maximizing his potential this offseason, saying, just like any other player, Kyle has to make sure he's doing everything he can to be the best version of himself next season. It's up to us as a team to support him, but he also has to put in the work. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Should Atlanta keep the faith in Pitts and hope for a breakout season? Or is it time to explore other options? It's no secret that the pass rush has been a hot topic for Atlanta fans for years. This season started off rough again with the Falcons ranking last in sacks through the first 11 weeks. However, things turned around after the bye week, with Atlanta tied for 2nd in sacks over the last 6 games. But is that enough? Fontenot was asked about this inconsistency during his postseason press conference and made it clear improvements are needed. We have pressure players, but we need to keep adding. We've shown progress, but we need to take the next step, he said. 2 players stood out in his comments, outside linebacker Arnold Ebiketie and inside linebacker Caden Ellis. Ebiketie led the team with 6 sacks, 5 of which came after the bye week, while Ellis recorded a team-high 16 QB hits to go along with 5 sacks. Clearly, there's some talent to develop, but not enough for sustained dominance in a tough NFC South. So what's next? The Falcons hold the 15th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, and Fontenot has hinted that they could trade up to acquire more draft capital. Atlanta also has picks in the 2nd, 4th, and 7th rounds. Remember, they've had success drafting top players in that range in the past, like A.J. Terrell and Chris Lindstrom. Could this be the year they find a franchise pass rusher? The draft is heavy on defense this year, so there should be plenty of talent available. But free agency is also an option. Atlanta traded for veteran Matthew Judon after losing rookie Bralon Trice to a season-ending injury. Judon had 5.5 sacks, below his career average but still solid given the circumstances. The challenge? Judon, along with Lorenzo Carter and James Smith-Williams, are set to hit free agency. Carter started 11 games but failed to record a sack, while Judon led the way with 5.5 sacks and 9 QB hits. Smith-Williams added 24 tackles but only 1 sack before landing on injured reserve. If Atlanta wants to make some noise, there are big names coming to the market: Khalil Mack, Hasten Reddick, Josh Sweat, Chase Young, all potential impact players. However, salary cap space is tight with just $4 million available. Tough decisions are coming, and Fontenot was clear, saying, "We have a vision for this team, but we haven't won enough yet." That has to change. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Should the team focus on the draft or go all in on a free agent edge rusher? Now, let's look at why re-signing Rondale Moore could be crucial for the team heading into 2025. The Falcons made a bold move in the offseason, acquiring wide receiver Rondale Moore from the Arizona Cardinals in exchange for quarterback Desmond Ridder. Moore was expected to be a dynamic third option in the receiving corps behind Darnell Mooney and Drake London. Unfortunately, disaster struck during a joint practice with the Miami Dolphins on August 7th. Moore suffered a non-contact knee injury that landed him on injured reserve, ending his season before it even began. But when one door closes, another opens. Stepping up in Moore's absence was Ray McCloud III, who had the best season of his career. Known primarily for his return skills in the past, McCloud exploded on the offensive side of the ball. He caught 62 passes for 686 yards on 87 targets, proving himself to be a reliable target for the Falcons. But here's why Atlanta should still consider giving Moore another shot, despite McCloud's breakout year. First, let's talk potential. Moore, who will be just 25 at the start of the 2025 season, has shown flashes of elite playmaking ability throughout his career. He ranks 4th in the NFL since 2022 in yards after catch, YAC, with an average of 6.4 yards per reception, tied with standout Puka Nacua. Compare that to the Falcons' 2023 receiving corps, which averaged just 3.7 YAC, the 4th lowest in the league at the time. Even with McCloud's emergence helping to boost that number to 5.4 last season, Moore's upside is undeniable. And don't forget his raw athleticism. Moore recorded an impressive 4.29-second 40-yard dash and a 42.5-inch vertical leap during his 2021 Pro Day. Speed, explosiveness, and agility, these are tools that could make him a perfect threat for quarterback Michael Penix Jr. The Falcons' offense lacks a consistent big play receiver, and Moore fits that mold perfectly. Now, some fans might be wondering if McCloud's success makes Moore unnecessary. But here's the thing, there's room for both on this roster. Moore brings additional versatility, not only as a receiver, but also in the return game. Atlanta's primary punt returner, Avery Williams, is also set to hit free agency this offseason. While Williams has been solid, he hasn't contributed much on offense, which Moore has the skill set to do. Moore could step in as a punt returner and offensive weapon, sharing kick return duties with McCloud. By keeping both players, the Falcons would strengthen their receiving depth while maximizing their return game, an area that often makes the difference in tight contests. McCloud has earned his place, but Moore's potential playmaking ability can't be ignored. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Should Atlanta bring back Rondale Moore for a shot at redemption, or has Ray McCloud solidified his position enough to move on without Moore? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications to stay up to date. Go Falcons!